Edu Gaspar finally reveals his plans for striker Viktor Gyokeres. Meanwhile, Arsenal makes a drastic move by putting Gabriel Jesus up for sale. And to wrap it up, in an impressive twist, Arteta has just confirmed that he now wants to sign one of the best players in the world for £85 million. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before we begin, if you also love Arsenal and believe we're going to win the Premier League this season, subscribe to our channel right now. This way, you won't miss any updates about the greatest team in the Premier League, and you'll also strengthen the fan community here on YouTube. Now, without further delay, let's get to today's top news. Edu Gaspar's honest thoughts about Viktor Gyokeres have now come to light as Arsenal chase a deal for the striker. Arsenal are actively searching for a striker this summer. They previously attempted to sign Benjamin Sesko, but the Slovenian opted to sign a new deal with RB Leipzig. Now, Mikel Arteta is exploring alternative targets, including Viktor Gyokeres. The Swede had a sensational season for Sporting and seems ready to test himself at the Premier League level. There is a strong argument that Gyokeres should be Arsenal's top target for this position, and it's easy to understand why the Spanish coach is such an admirer of the 26-year-old. The 20-cap Sweden international, Viktor Gyokeres, has all the attributes required to thrive at the highest level. He is a clinical finisher in the box, offers intelligent movement, physicality, and an aerial threat, boasts pace, and can drop deep to hold up the ball and involve himself in build-up play. Arsenal are now willing to push for a deal for Gyokeres, despite facing competition for his signature from Premier League rivals. According to Team Talk, Arsenal are now in pole position to sign Viktor Gyokeres this summer, having pulled ahead of Liverpool in the race for his signature. The report mentions that Edu himself is a huge admirer of the Swede and believes Gyokeres would be perfect for Mikel Arteta's system. Clearly, the Brazilian is keen to get this deal done. However, Gyokeres won't come cheap, as his current contract includes an £84.6 million release clause, and it's hard to imagine that Sporting would accept anything less than that full amount. Considering that Viktor Gyokeres scored 43 goals and provided 15 assists in 50 appearances across all competitions last season, it's easy to see why Sporting are keen to retain his services. However, if Arsenal can secure the funds to trigger his £84.6 million release clause, Gyokeres would represent a hugely exciting addition to the Emirates Stadium. Clearly, Edu shares this opinion, and Arteta is already known to be an admirer of Gyokeres. Whether the funds are available to make a serious move is another matter entirely. However, as things stand, the Gunners are leading the way to get this deal done. Arsenal make Gabriel Jesus available for sale. The North Londoners are now shifting their focus towards acquiring a midfielder and a winger, with Mikel Merino and Nico Williams high on their list of targets. To fund moves for these players, Arsenal will need to offload some of their current squad. As a result, they have just revealed that they are open to offers for one of their attackers. According to The Athletic, Arsenal are open to offers for Gabriel Jesus this summer. Since his £45 million switch from Manchester City in 2022, Jesus has had his ups and downs. Despite this inconsistency, Arteta remains a big admirer of his talents. The Gunners' boss is happy to keep him at the club, and so far, there have been no suitable offers to sign him. The 27-year-old, described as dangerous by Chris Wheatley, lost his starting position towards the end of last season, with Arteta preferring Kai Havertz in the number 9 role. Nottingham Forest dreaming of a move to sign £50 million Arsenal player. According to Alan Nixon, Nottingham Forest are eyeing a potential move for Arsenal's goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale, who has been Arsenal's second-choice keeper since losing his spot to David Raya last season, is expected to move on this summer. Newcastle had shown interest in him, but that deal doesn't seem to be progressing. Now, Forest are eager to bring him in on a loan deal. However, Ramsdale comes with a hefty £50 million price tag, which is more than Forest are ready to spend. They're hoping to wait it out, keeping their fingers crossed that Arsenal will eventually lower their asking price and let him go on loan as the transfer window draws to a close. Arsenal have just returned to the race for one of the best players on the planet. Mikel Arteta's team came so close to winning the Premier League last season, falling just 2 points short of Manchester City, who ended up as champions. A lot of people believe Arsenal fell short because they didn't have a standout striker. Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz didn't quite hit the mark, although Havertz did finish the season on a high note. But here's the exciting news. Arsenal have now reached out to sign a world-class striker from abroad. Arsenal back in for Viktor Osimhen. According to Corriere dello Sport, Arsenal are back in the running to sign Napoli striker Viktor Osimhen this summer. Osimhen seemed on the verge of joining PSG, but the French club appears to be stepping back from the deal because of his high asking price. Arsenal faced a similar issue earlier in the transfer window, with reports saying they considered the cost for the Napoli forward to be too steep. However, the latest updates from Italy suggest that Arsenal have re-entered the chase and have reached out to Napoli once again. Osimhen is expected to set any potential suitors back around £85 million. Viktor Osimhen, hailed as one of the best players in the world by Adriano Del Monte, had a strong season last year despite battling injuries. The Nigerian striker scored 17 goals and provided 4 assists in 27 starts, which is a pretty impressive record. It's also known that his top choice is still the Premier League, so there's a solid chance he might end up making a move to North London. Guys, it looks like Arsenal is back in the game to secure one of the best players on the planet. After almost winning the Premier League, we know we needed a top-notch striker. And Osimhen is exactly what we need. He's one of the best in the world, and despite the ups and downs of last season, he scored 17 goals and provided 4 assists. PSG backed off because of the price, but we seem to be firm in the race. If he comes, he could be the big leap Arsenal needs to finally win the title. Let's hope it works out, because this is the kind of signing that could change everything for us. How £34 million Arsenal star has been like a new signing, he will be Mikel Arteta's secret weapon. Arsenal's Jurrien Timber faced a major setback when he suffered a long-term injury on his Premier League debut, forcing him to miss the entire season. Timber finally made his comeback on the last day of the previous season and has been working hard to regain his fitness during pre-season. He's already shown impressive form on the USA Tour. The Dutch defender, who was signed from Ajax for £34 million last year, is known for his versatility and high-level performance at fullback on both sides. He will be vying for the left-back spot with new arrival Ricardo Calafiori. Interestingly, Mikel Arteta has been using Timber in a surprising role during pre-season, which could lead to some exciting tactical options for him throughout the season. Jurrien Timber has played at centre-back in Arsenal pre-season games. With William Saliba out after Euro 2024, it was initially thought that Ben White would move back to centre-back and Jurrien Timber would take over at right-back for Arsenal's pre-season games. Instead, Mikel Arteta has kept White on the right side and placed Timber in Saliba's centre-back position. After Arsenal's victory over Manchester United in Los Angeles, Arteta explained his decision. It's about making one change instead of two. It's straightforward. The chemistry on the right side is well established and has been for a long time. I believe it's better to adjust just one thing, Arteta said, referring to keeping White at fullback and giving Timber the center-back role. Timber has proven he can play comfortably across the backline, and with his exceptional ball skills, it wouldn't be surprising to see him step into a midfield role at some point. Considering he barely featured last season, having Timber available now feels like a brand new signing, and Arteta is thrilled to have him back. He's starting to find his rhythm, especially since he's missed a lot of football recently, Arteta noted. We've had to use him in a different role than originally planned because of our current squad setup, but I'm really pleased with his contributions. Arteta highlighted Timber's pressing, leadership, saying, "He's like a new signing for us and a significant boost to the team." While the spotlight has been on Calafiori joining the defense, Timber has flown a bit under the radar, but with this being his first proper season at Arsenal, it feels like he's just joined the club this summer. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.